There by Nance. Back to McCollum. He's got 18. A three. Night.
And that'll do it. And now we've got a tied series at 2 games apiece between the Pelicans, who played their way into the playoffs, and the Suns, who led the league the majority of, if not the entirety of the season, in the regular season.
Yeah.
And now here we are.
Yeah.
Heading back to Phoenix. You know who they are, but in case you didn't, Isaiah Thomas, Rick Mahorn, I'm Kristen Ledlow. We're with you for all of the post-game coverage, coaches and player press conferences on both sides. I want to start with Brandon Ingram. How stunning has his first ever, by the way, postseason appearance been?
I mean, he's been great. Not only has he been great, but, you know, his leadership, you know, throughout, you know, the postseason has been great, too, because they put the ball in his hands and they've said, hey, we're going to ride with you. You're going to be our scorer. You're going to be our guy that we go to. And CJ, you know, has also taken a step back and said, okay, giving Ingram the type of confidence that he needs going into the postseason. And it's been beautiful watching the Pelicans play.
How about their big man, Jonas Valanciunas, added 26 and 15 in this one?
Well, we see in other series where big men are not really that prevalent, like Rudy Gobert the other night had a great game. But this was a great game for Valanciunas. As I said, he established himself inside. But when he hit that three, I was like, whoa, okay, now you're really bringing it back to some old school traditions as a big. But the big thing was he hit the three, but he kind of controlled that paint. Attacking the basket, JaVale McGee getting the and ones, but when he just shot that three like that, I was like, whoa, okay. But you're right to what Isaiah said. CJ McCollum is a calming presence on the court, especially when you have a guy like Brandon Ingram, who got kind of lost in the sauce once Zion got there. All of a sudden, he was a number 2 instead of being a number 1. You have to build on that, and a lot of times chemistry works when you find that this guy is very talented. He was the most improved player a couple of years ago. You go like, oh, he's second fiddle now? No, he's balling, man. They're balling right now.
Each of you brought up CJ McCollum. What, both on and off the court, has he brought to this team, and how could his postseason experience be playing into the series we're seeing tied now?
He's a pro. That's the thing. He comes with that backpack and that hard hat on because the school he went to, Lehigh, and playing with a guy like Dame Dillard, you got to be that guy that says, you know, I'm going to take that back seat. I can play that Batman role if it is one, but it's just the fact that he is so calming. And, you know, class. Yeah. It's like, oh, my gosh. It's like, dude, you're a pro, man. You're a throwback.
Yeah. Not only is he a pro or a throwback, but as you said, he's a man, you know, and when he's the leader and the president of the Players Association. So when he walks through the door, there's a certain amount of respect that he has that not only the players in the locker room give to him, but the whole league gives to him because they've elected him to be their leader. So, you know, when you lead the 450 and then you walk into a locker room and you say, you don't have to say, I'm going to lead the 15 in the locker room. They already give you that. So for him to give that back to younger players, to give that back to this young team and say, hey, I'm going to take a back seat, and Ingram, I'm going to let you do your thing, right? Look, what's the little Alvarado?
Yeah.
Yes. And he can say it like that.
You know, he's like, I'm going to let you do your thing against Chris Paul. I'm going to inspire you. I'm going to give everybody that confidence that they need, and that's great.
I'm glad you brought him up, Jose Alvarado.
I love him because this is old school, pick you up full court defense. This is how you pick up in the playoffs.
Well, and Coach Sam Mitchell said a couple of nights ago when he was talking a lot, Jose, like, all right, don't write checks with your mouth that you can't go out there and cash. And he has stepped up and accepted his assignment night after night.
I mean, he gets in your chest. He's got great footwork, right? He's forcing Chris Paul left. He's keeping him going left. He's picking you up in the backcourt now. And you know, it used to be old school. You had 10 seconds to get up. Now you only got 8, right? So he's putting that pressure on him, making him turn his back, bouncing it. And by the time you get into the half court, you don't have, you know, 20 seconds on the shot clock anymore, because a lot of these guards just let you walk it up.
And you're worn down a little.
And Chris is 35. So now when you get to game 5, game 6, game 7, those legs start to wear out on you a little bit.
Yeah. Chris is, if I'm not mistaken, actually 36, and his birthday is sometime next week. This, again, all off the top of my head. But, yep, he turns 37.
Wow, pretty good.
May 6th.
That's why we went to head of class.
That's why we hang with you.
You know.
We cheating on your cheat sheet.
I got to ask, as simply as I can ask it, can the Suns win this series with Devin Booker sidelined?
Well, they've won during the regular season without having Devin Booker and also CP3. It's about the next man mentality. Who's going to step up? Is it going to be Jay Crowder? Is it going to be Mikal Bridges? Is it going to be somebody that's going to step up? And that's going to be key. Plus, they're playing home. They got, right now, it's a 3-game series. It's 2-2. It's a 3-game series. They got 2 games at home, but they got to protect home in order to advance.
And so let me give you it from a small man's perspective at the point guard, with CP3. Right now, he's got to wrestle back early in the next game, control of, like, I'm the man here, like, little fella, y'all calm down. I'm the point guard. I'm the one who does all this. Because right now, in that other locker room, in that Pelican locker room, they're thinking like, you know what? We found a couple of weak spots, and we can go at them. Now, with smaller players like myself, we don't have the advantage of size. We don't have physicality. So when guys all size, we all like 5'11", 6 feet, 6'2", we all think we can get each other, and we don't really have a physical advantage. We only have a mental advantage. We only have a mental edge. Right now in this series, Chris Paul has got to quickly take back the mental edge in Game 5, or it's going to be a long 5, 6, and 7 for him.
This series now tied at 2 games apiece. Monty Williams now sitting at the podium, one of the Coach of the Year finalists. Let's listen in.
Coach, we talked about the third quarter, and again, it showed its ugly head again tonight. What do you feel like was the difference in that quarter tonight?
They for sure played with more urgency and grit than we did tonight. I told the guys that we played hard, but they played much harder. That's just a fact. And then the third quarter, for whatever reason, we haven't been able to be productive in that quarter, whether it's missing shots or not getting stops. But it's been a trend in this series, and so it's something that we have addressed. Now we just got to go out and be better.
You guys have been in this situation, being 2-2 in the series last year with the Lakers. With the way the Pelicans are playing right now, how much of it's like, got to figure this out now and not?
Well, I think the label on the series is, whoever gets the 50-50 balls, gets to the spot first, doesn't give up the effort plays, is typically coming out the winner. But I'm going to say this, 42 to 15 in free throws. You can slice it any way you want to. In a playoff game that physical,